Good morning. It's Lippy. It's Sunday morning. I put out our first garden video yesterday. And I had a few questions of what do I do with the soil? How do I amend it? And maybe I wasn't specific with how I do the beds. And a lot of people wanted to know, what is it that Miss Lippy uses? So I've got my tote right here. I don't know if y'all gonna see it, because that is my storage container, as well as two more until we can get me a garden shed built. So what I did with these beds is I laid cardboard down. Okay, it will break down and decompose. I came in with an abundance of pine straw. Now mind you, the beds look full when you're adding all of this, but when that soil gets dropped in there, the weight of it will lay it down. So I came in with almost a full bed of pine straw, though it seemed. Then I mashed that down, and then I came in with leaves till I brought it to the top. And then from there, I added peat moss and perlite. And I started blending it with my hands. And then I added garden lime. Okay? Because what this lime's going to do, it's going to help decompose all of that matter. It's going to promote a good bacteria, at least in my experience. And then when that soil gets in there and I blend it in, it separates it, because these are large boxes. They're 2 feet in depth, 4 feet long, and I don't remember how tall, but they are my waist high. And that's what my initial start is in my garden. I've always used this as long as I can remember. And I've got 4 bags. These haven't even been open. I've got a small one out there I'm working on that I've had for a couple of years. Now, I'm very particular on what beds I put this lime in. It's going to be my squash. It's going to be my cucumbers. It's going to be my tomatoes. Because what that's going to do is that's going to promote those particular vegetables and some others. But that's the main ones that most of you will be familiar with when you're trying to set the stage for a good foothold of a plant. Okay? So then, I don't think I left my bag. Yeah, I left my bag out there. So when I get ready to say plant my tomatoes and my cucumbers, and let's keep it simplified, I'm going to dig down about an arm's deep. Okay? And I'm going to come in with a handful of calcium nitrate or garden lime. Even though I've put it in there, I'm going to come in with a handful. Calcium nitrate or lime. You can use Epsom salt, which I do have. I'm not the biggest fan starting my plants off with Epsom salt. That's just my preference. And then I'm going to come in with the soil and I'm going to pack it. I just punch it a couple of times to pack it with my fist. Then I come in with triple 13 granules, as I showed in yesterday's video. I'm going to come in with the soil as well on top of that, and I'm going to pack it in. And then I set my plants in. And that's all the food that I'm going to give those plants for 2 weeks. And then I'll start feeding them with a balanced fertilizer. And this is my go-to preference. There's 2 things that I actually use. I don't know if y'all can, oh, sorry. This is the Dr. Earth Organic Fertilizer for tomatoes, vegetables, and herbs, okay? Does it say on here? It should be, yeah, it's a 463, okay? Now, I'm going to do this, let me turn you up. I'm going to do this every other Sunday. Every other Sunday. Then every other Sunday between that, I'm going to use a fish emulsion. So actually every Sunday I'm feeding, but I'm rotating. Okay, I side dress with the Dr. Earth. The following Sunday, a liquid fish emulsion. And there's something new that I tried 2 years ago. And I've used it off and on, testing. And it's turned out to be really amazing. And let me show you this little bottle. The same thing that's in those granules, but in a pump. So it's very small. 2 pumps. 1 pump on one end of the bed, 1 pump on the other end. Water it in, and you're good to go. No mess. You don't have to worry about the granules. But like I said, I've used it kind of sparingly, just testing. And I've not seen any bad come from it. To me, it works just like the granules. But it was worth showing y'all because someone that has small spaces, because, you know, everyone gardens on a different scale. We can't just be sharing large gardens. We got to think about the ones that have a very small patio garden, you know, very small square footage in a condo. I mean, there's just various size gardens out in this world. Well, there you go. No different than that bag. This was like $8. It's a 3-2-1, so it's higher in nitrogen than the granules. 2 pumps to that size bed that I have. Water and be done. You can actually squirt this, wait 24 hours and water it in. So if you know a rain's coming, a good slow rain, put your 2 pumps in, let the rainwater wash it in. You're done. No mess, no worrying about spilling stuff on the ground if you have outdoor animals. So it's got a lot of safety benefits too. Let's see. Now a lot of y'all may not like this. But if I need to get rid of something, it's going to be 7 dust. But once them blooms come on, I won't use 7 dust. But I will use this initially till it starts setting fruit or vegetables. Once it starts setting those blooms, Lippy does not use 7 dust. But if you want a jump start to deter the bugs, I recommend this, and I recommend actually putting it on the soil. You know, I have a little squirter, and you can go up underneath the leaf. Because by the time the blooms come, the rain or you watering should wash it off. But I do use 7 dust. Let me see. Okay, here's another one. Because I'm going to take y'all out to the shed. I just got through taking all of my starter pots, cleaning them. The ones I've unloaded and planted out to the shed. I'm going to show y'all how I store them and what all I have. But when I start my seedlings, I use a coconut fiber. Like I said, I'll show you. But once I up-pot my seedlings into those Bonnie cups, and I'm sure that y'all are going to see them because I'm going to put some pictures throughout this video. When I go to up-pot those little, I call them yearlings. That's what I call them. I'm going to pack the soil down because that's when I move from the organic coconut fiber starter, and that's when I actually go to just a smooth potting mix. That's all I use, guys. I'm going to put the soil in, pack it. I'm going to sprinkle with blood meal because it is a slow release. This is going to give me some nitrogen to jumpstart that yearling, as I call it. So that's going to go in, no different than if I'm planting in the bed. I'm going to pack it down. I'm going to come in with just a sprinkle of lime or calcium nitrate, whichever one I have sitting there. Pack, put more dirt, pack it, put your yearling in there. You're good to go until you're ready to up pot to the garden or to containers, depending on how you garden. So blood meal is definitely used on the onset, the first up pot. That's how my plants just get enormous. And what it does is it promotes that nitrogen, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to promote growth, a good foundation, good legs. You're not trying to set anything right now. It's too young. So in order to get that good prominent plant, we got to think about the root system. We got to think about the shaft of it. You can't think about the end result. That's where you come in and you maintain to bring that about. So this is the way to go to get that jump start. That is all Lippy uses. On her citrus, I can go ahead and show y'all. Y'all know I have some lemon trees. I just use a fruit and citrus. What is this? This is Job's Organic. I got 3 bags. That's all I use, guys. I don't make it complicated. And as we grow, I will share with y'all how I stake my tomatoes. Don't make it complicated. It doesn't have to be pretty. Well, I mean, unless you're growing pretty, great. Lippy's growing food. I don't look at the pretty. Pretty is when I start seeing production and results to the fruits of my labor. So I don't need something fancy and colorful and bright. Aesthetically, yes. In the times we're in, we need to just grow in whatever we can grow in. And that's what we're doing. You know, we're blessed to have all this material, but it comes also with labor. Buddy's out there cutting now. But I'm going to take you out there on Mud and Mabel, and I'm going to show you what I use, where it came from, and then I'm going to get back to the garden before I end the video this evening. I'll give an update on what all we was able to get done today. All right, y'all. Can y'all see me? Yeah. Okay. As you can see, this is a circle of mess out here, y'all. This is a lot of garden stuff. But as you can see, this is one of my totes, and it says Garden Starter Trays. Now, I have another tray in the shed that I've got to set these in, but this is what I used. And I wash them, and I reuse them. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this apart, and I'm going to show you down in here. All right. Y'all going to be able to see. This is what I used this last time. And I have stacks of them. This is just one container. Y'all see down in here? And then all of them Bonnie cups that a lot of y'all have seen. I've probably got 80 of these things. Okay? Let me try to get them back in here. I've got a lot of these 4-packs. I've also got 6-packs in here. I've got an abundance. Well, this will be easier to get to. Of these trays. And I keep them in here. Here's another size. You get the picture. I use what I have. But these came, except for the terracotta ones, because I used to sell plants at our old residence. But these all came from a good friend of ours who had a nursery and landscape, as well as years ago, Home Depot would throw these away with dead plants. Well, you know, when Buddy and Lippy find something like that, we grabbed them. So I've always kept them in here, okay? But here is a block. I've got a couple of totes, but I'll show you this one. This is what I seed start with, guys, right here. And I have done this 15, 20 years. And after summer, they'll discount them. Last year, I found these. Let me show you this side. Last year, I found these for $2 a piece. I bought 12. There you go. Let me turn you around. I know y'all just love my filming because this was getting awkward to hold. And the reason why I use that is because, as I've always said, a seed is viable if it's viable. So it don't matter really what you start your seeds in, within reason. If it's a viable seed, it's going to grow. So all of this powder mix and so many things out there. One, this safe space, using that. 2, I've got great results. But you still got to find what works for you. But don't look at something as far as a price to determine that, oh, well, it's $25, so it must be the best. No, that $2 block is good too. So you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to help some of you new ones out there. When you see that price tag, don't think, well, it's top shelf. It's got to be the best. That's not necessarily true. Take it from my experience. It's not true. But there you go. I hope this answers some of the questions. because someone thought that I went out and bought Bonnie plants. And no, I didn't. I started them from seed. I've got plenty more, but my shelf is getting low. But I'm going to insert some pictures of where my grow station was this year. It was in a garage, in a little corner, whoop-de-doo lights. You know, hey, you got to work with what you got, right? Okay, for video purposes, I'm showing y'all something. Because sometimes people work better off a visual than just sitting and explaining. Okay, what I've done to this bed is, as you can see, I've gone probably this far deep in. I've piled up all the soil here, okay? So what you would do is, as you're bringing your layers, let's pretend that we are 3/4 up, okay? I'm gonna come in with a big handful of that Dr. Earth that I had showed y'all. Then I'm gonna come in with a little bit of soil. And I'm gonna mix it in, right? Remember the garden lime that I told y'all about? This is my calcium. Don't be shy. Then you're gonna come back in. So that garden lime acts as my calcium, and it also helps to break down all the natural matter that's in here, like the pine straw, the leaves, the sticks and twigs that was in the yard, okay? And then I'll do the other side. And I've got some squash here that I'm gonna plant. So all I'm gonna do is the other side, and then I'll come back and we'll plant together. Stinky stuff.
Yeah, I smell it from here. Thought it was me, but guess it's not.
Nope, it ain't you, bud. All right, we got it all mixed in. Now I'm gonna come back with this stinky stuff. There we go. Ooh. This is not for the weak nose. I find myself holding my breath. All right. Looks good to me. Now remember, I've already got perlite and peat moss down in the bed. Okay. And what I'm going to attempt to do, since I have no trellis, so I'm going to attempt to start in the center, which is this bed here, this box, and let my runners run left and right and act as a ground cover, and then I can come in and plant a companion plant that works well with the squash, so I get dual purpose. This is just a straight neck yellow squash. Ooh, the roots on this thing. And you have to be very careful when you're transplanting squash or zucchini. I do like to seed start in the beds, but nowadays with the weather, y'all, that's a little difficult to do. These are very tender plants. And you're saying, well, they look a little small. I do not up pot these. They go from start of seed directly to the soil. The strong will survive, the weak won't. And that's just how Lippy does it. So I over start here. So if I have failure, they are able to get a little bit bigger here. I'm not concerned if we get a late frost because I do have something I can cover these with. All right, that's one. Let's do the other one. And I'm just using an old spoon, guys. There again. They make tools out there. But can y'all see these roots? Beautiful. There we go. Now, I don't break my cell up. In other words, I'm not going to take this on my squash or zucchini and I'm breaking it up. I'm not going to do that. Oh, I have one coming up. Let's put him back in there. They're not as delicate, guys, as people think. There's the seed right there. Cover him up with a little bit of this. Let me find some. And he'll be just fine. Don't be afraid of your plants. They're stronger than what you think. All right, and there you have it. And that's how Lippy does. And these were just 2 straight necks. Now I'm gonna let this one run and go to the left. This one come in here, go to the right. And then in between, I'm gonna utilize this space. I don't know, I have to go look at my trays in there and see what goes best with them or see what I have. And then I can plant something else here that's gonna come with some height. And there you go. It's a race, y'all.
Mine's already full.
I had to stop and do the camera.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, excuses.
We don't have the
excuses.
luxury. We don't have the luxury of a front end loader. So here's
We
our
are the
front end loader.
Hey, Lippy, what are you doing?
I'm putting money in my garden.
Money?
Money. That's money right there. You better spend your money in the garden, not on video games. But that's money right there, y'all. Now let's see if I can do this with a steady hand. Okay, we were able to make this corner. We still gotta fill that one up. But as you can see, it's gonna be a wheelbarrow be able to fit between the rows. It's money. So there you go. I've got, let me see what all I planted today. I think I brought y'all to this. Remember the green bells? Some more bells. And I showed this earlier in the video. The zucchini and the squash. And I rotated them. And I have sunflower seeds planted along, where's my finger? Along the back side of every bed. Okay? And that's where we're at, guys. Trying to go slow. I don't want to make you dizzy. And my phone's kind of dying. And then somebody wanted to see the trellis. Okay. Here is the trellis that I was telling you about that was rotted at the base. And I'll zoom in. And then all Buddy did was attach it to each side. And I'm going to use it to run my cucumbers on this year. But I left it the way it was. It's a little patina. So I think it gives it good contrast. So see, you can have a little pretty, but a lot of stuff you can find for free. Okay, here in this bucket is calendula. And then if I scan you around, here is another one. And we have a third one, it's behind the camera. There you go, guys. We are shutting it down. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we got the grandkids coming over for a couple hours, so we're gonna shut it down. But I think we got a lot accomplished in a weekend. Grandpa's here. He helped drive the lawnmower so we could put the cart behind it and be able to pick up all the pine straw. Made it easier than that wheelbarrow. But we got a long ways to go. We still got to get another trailer and another truckload of the dirt. And let's see, how many beds did we fill? We did, what, 8 yesterday? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 12 beds done today. So those 2 loads will do another 12. and I think we'll be okay. We can still keep building the beds, but I don't think we're going to have to add, you know, dirt right now. Maybe we'll find somebody that can haul it, you know, into next month or something like that. But for now, I think we're okay. I know we're okay. So yeah, I hope. Oh, and let me clarify something, guys. I get to talking and I assume people know what I'm saying. When I was mentioning the lime and the that I was putting in the beds, yes, that acts as a good balance and it helps break down the natural elements that we put in the bed, but it also helps prevent root rot, okay? No different than the calcium nitrate. And I was just talking and it dawned on me. Did I tell my friends, some that may not know, it works two ways. And I just want to make sure I clarify that. Most of you probably know that, but hey, there may be somebody that don't. So it's very beneficial, you know, on multiple levels, but it's really beneficial to break down natural nutrients that we put in the pine straw, the leaves, the sticks. It also helps prevent root rot. So I think I pretty well covered it. Now I'll get this edited. I got to get some coffee. Yes, I'm hot, but y'all, I got to have coffee, even if it's 100 degrees. So there's 2 days of gardening, and we'll probably see you back in the garden next weekend, and I'm going to try to just make it a weekend thing. I think it's going to work better for us, and hopefully, you know, you guys will enjoy it too. But until next time, as always, God bless.